Alright guys, so got these trout back to the house, got them in the sink, rinsing them down and soaking them a little bit, you know, kind of getting the impurities from the creek and stuff off of them. It's a pretty clean creek we pulled them out of today. That's why I love catching these nice fresh browns. These are stockers, you can tell because they have the clip fins. You'll just notice that as you're fishing the creek that the majority of the fish you're going to catch are fish that they stock from year to year. But yeah, so we're gonna get right into this clean and cook video, and I'm gonna show you how I like to prepare them and what I feel the best garnish and the best way to cook them is. So stay tuned, and we're gonna slide right on over to the cutting board and get right at it. All right guys, so we're gonna get into the cleaning process on these brown trout that I had caught earlier today. They're still really fresh, still, you know, moving a little bit over here in the sink. The first thing you're always going to want when you're cleaning fish or any game is a nice sharp knife. I mean, this is just a non-serrated, you know, steak knife I got. Sharpened it on my stone, and it'll help you in the process of taking care of these fish. All right, so we got our trout up here on the cutting board, and the first thing you want to do, these are some of the easiest fish to clean. They really don't have any scales on them. They do have scales, but they don't have scales that are going to bother you if you eat them. They're pretty minute. And a lot of people actually, when they prepare these fish, they actually eat the skin of the fish itself. I tend to just eat the meat, but every once in a while I will take a couple bites of the skin because it gets nice and crispy the way that we eat it. So the first thing you're going to want to do in the process of cleaning these fish is you're going to want to start. You're going to lift this fin up here, and you're going to go right here behind the head with your knife, and you're going to make an incision. You're going to cut straight down through the body of the fish, and you're going to take just the head off, just behind this fin here. And once you do that, you're going to flip the fish over, and you're going to go up through the stomach of the fish here. Break all these little bones if they get in your way. You're gonna go straight through down to the back fin. Now once you get the inside out of the fish, you'll notice it's a pretty clean cavity in here. But you're gonna want to take your finger and run it up this dark line here on the inside of the spine of the fish, and that's called the blood line, and that clears out all of just the blood from the fish. Really, it all seeps into that bloodline once you let them sit for a little bit. And it comes right out the top line here just below the spine, and it cleans out the cavity of the fish, and then you're almost completely done with the process. After you do that, after you clear this line out, then you want to take the fish. I like to run the fish under nice, fresh, running, cold water just to clear out all the blood and everything that's left inside the cavity, and then we move on from there. Alright guys, now I've cleared the fish out from the bloodline. The guts have been removed. Obviously the head has been removed. You don't have to worry about taking off the outside of these fish, the skin. There is some scales on it, but they're so small, and they don't really bother you when you're eating them. So what's beautiful about this fish is it's just beautiful, white, flaky, fresh meat that comes right out of our streams, and you know, there's no chemicals you have to worry about. It's a beautiful natural stream that's well maintained and well taken care of. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to clean this big guy up, and we're going to get ready to put him in the oven. Alrighty, so now we're going to get into preparing the fish to put it in the oven so that we can eat this sucker. Alright, so what I like to do is I like to make what is known as a foil pack. So I take aluminum foil and I lay it out and I put my fish on it. Then I like to take some squares of butter, and I like to fill the inside with that butter. And that helps so that when the fish is cooking, there will be just all that buttery goodness on the inside that's gonna soak into that meat as it melts in the foil pack, and it also helps keep this whole fish moist. Not that trout really ever has an issue with that, but it just helps. I also like to take about a quarter to maybe a half spoonful of fresh garlic, and I like to put that in in that cavity of that trout before I wrap it up, because it, you know, I mean, who doesn't like garlic on their fish? And then I also like to take a little bit of onion powder and just sprinkle it on the outskirts of the fish as well as the inside, because that packs that onion flavor in. And as well, like I said, sometimes I'll take a couple bites of the skin. A lot of people really like it. I just prefer to only have 1 or 2 bites every time that I cook one of these up. And then what you're going to do is you're actually just going to wrap it up in this foil like you would maybe a pork loin or something of that nature that you're planning to bake. And you fold the ends nice and tight. Make sure everything's nice and sealed here, because it's going to get really juicy and you don't want it to spill out into your oven, because then it just makes a mess that nobody wants to deal with. So now what I'm going to do is I have my oven preheated to 400 degrees, and I'm going to put this fish in on the rack directly for about 10 to maybe 15 minutes. I'll check it, and then I'll flip it and let it go for a couple more minutes, and we'll pull it out and see if it's fall off the bone like we'd like it. All right, everyone. Timer is screaming. It's time to flip over our fish. Check back with you soon. All right, guys. Ooh, some of the juice got out of there, made it a little smoky, but I tell you what, it's gonna be good. Let's get that out of here, get it on the plate, and take a look at that white meat. Alright guys, got it out. Let's unwrap this bundle of joy and take a look at how it turned out for us. Oh, look at all that juice in there. Smells very, very good. Oh, look at the way that, oh, that looks awesome. Okay, so now I'm gonna leave this, let it cool down just a little bit, and then I'll come back to you guys and I'll teach you a really good technique at getting all the bones out. Since we're eating this fish almost whole bodied, you know, minus the head and the guts, obviously the bones are still in it. Now the bones inside these trout are very small, and that's a very good thing because nobody wants to be picking their teeth of fish bones. So, like I said, I'm going to let it cool down a little bit so it's not so hard to touch and handle, and I'll come back to you and I'll teach you a trick on how to debone this fish. Now the fish has cooled down a little bit, it's a little easier to handle. I'm going to show you what I like to do with this fish before I eat it. So personally, I'm not a big fan of eating the skin. Every once in a while, like I said before, I'll take a couple bites, but what I like to do is I like to just grab onto that skin and just peel it right off the fish. And that's how you know that fish is done. When you can just peel that skin right off the fish, you know that that fish was cooked great. And what I did with this is I did 10 minutes, flipped it, and did another 10 minutes. So 20 minutes in the oven at 400 degrees, and this fish is absolutely fall off the bone. I mean, just absolutely perfect. Cooked exactly how I like it. Super soft. I mean, it's just perfect. Now, like I said before, I wanted to show you guys a technique to get rid of the bones. And what I like to do with that is I grab a hold of this tail right here, and you just pick up on it. And it splits that fish in half, just like so. And as you can see, there's all the that's 99% of the skeleton of the fish. So I just like to peel that right off. That's all good, completely boneless meat. And as well as what's left down on the bottom, because there's the spine right there. You can pull off some of this meat if you like to. Put that on your plate. Again, all completely boneless. And it's just that easy. You throw that out, you sit down, and you enjoy you some nice, wild-caught brown trout. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'd like to see you guys back here again next time. Take it easy.